Hi, I'm Yvonne Brooks from McNally Jackson Books. Today we're going to make clothespin characters. You can make mermaids, dolls, superheroes, whatever inspires you. We're going to try to show you how to do it with just a few simple materials, and then you can expand from there. You can use some felt, you can use little bits of fabric that you find around your house. This is one I'm going to show you just by taking this simple clothespin and let's put her a little closer here. Can you see her? So she started out as a clothespin, and then I glued the yarn on the hair, took a little Sharpie and drew her face and eyes, and what I did was I took the fabric and just put some little small rubber bands, made it kind of drapey, kind of loose like a mermaid's tail. Use some yarn around the top and a little pipe cleaner wound around, so then she could have some arms. There you go. So that's just starting with a clothespin. You can also make some with longer dresses that are a little like kind of elegant, and you can imagine that they're doing some mysterious ceremonies, or maybe they're going out somewhere, or they're some kind of character in a fairy tale. This one I used with fuzzy yarn, so if you have some fuzzy yarn, and gave her some hair there, and she's got some antennae kind of coming up, so she's kind of a hybrid, maybe a fairy type character. This one, now this is very easy. It was just a square of felt, and it cut a hole in the middle there to put it on like a poncho style, and I took a pipe cleaner, punched holes through the front and the back, and put the pipe cleaner in through the button, so you can see you can add little buttons there too, and then twisted the pipe cleaners for the little ears. Antennae. Butterflies don't have ears, right? And this is kind of a superhero. I'll show you how this worked. I took the clothespin, and then I used the fabric. I made a little poncho style again with the hole in the center, and glued it to the body to make the cape kind of stand out. And then of course we had to put a mask on our superhero and some nifty pants, and then I used a little wire and yarn there. Now if you don't have any wire, you can always use pipe cleaners, and you can also hold your fabric together with safety pins. And I found that rubber bands are really good for these kind of things too. I have the little kind, and I have these larger ones. If you can, when you get your craft clothespins at a store, you can see if you can find some of these little stands. So that's kind of fun sometimes to stand them up and display them that way. Let's see now. Oh, here. I will show you the simplest kind first. You take just a little piece of fabric, straight piece of fabric, and I folded it in half, and then cut the little hole there. And you can see there, like I said, a poncho style, and you put it over the top of your clothespin, and you just take a little rubber band there to the front piece of the fabric, just to hold it on there. Can you see that there? I'm putting the rubber band there. So now you have your Day of the Dead character, the little drapey little robe there, a little cape, and so you can kind of see how this works here. There you go. So now you can go to your Day of the Dead party or your mysterious ceremony. You can parade around, you can fly around, all kinds of things you can do there. There is now, I use this kind of clothespin. You can, if you can't find these craft clothespins, you can make characters out of the kind with the springs. We're just focusing on the other kind for now. Here's an example to take some thin string and yarn and wrapped around the body for some clothes, and to give it some little definition, like it has legs and everything. And I made the front part of the face sleeping, and then the other side, the eyes are open there. and I put pipe cleaners for arms, kind of twisted them around to the side, and then I left this little part to be like a tail, like a demon tail. So that's our little demon fellow. And now we're going to make our second one, because we're going to make two today. And this is another really simple one, just so you can kind of get an idea of how, just with two, one piece of material, like this one just has the one piece of fabric and the felt, or however you want it. Oh, this one also has a little yarn around it. And now this is just taking the yarn and tying the cape on around the neck. So you didn't even need any glue there. Just some string or yarn and a little piece of fabric there. There you go. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to use a piece of paper to show you what I did with the fabric here. Like this is a square, for example, and if you fold a square in 4 pieces, like this. So I had a piece of square fabric and I folded it in 4ths like that, and then took the scissors and cut around it. Just, maybe you've seen this trick before. You just cut around it a little bit and kind of gives you a more circular piece there. And while you have it in 4ths like this, you take your scissors and you just scoop out, cut off the little point there. There you go. And open it up and you have a hole. So that's what I did with the fabric. Folded it in 4ths, trimmed around it to make the circle, and then now I have a big giant poncho. So let's take another clothespin here. I'm going to put this gown on here. There you go. See, it has all the peace signs. That's nice. And I cut out a triangle of felt for the headdress. There you go. It's like a hood, a headdress. And like I said, these characters, you can make all kinds of stories and fit them into pre-existing stories or invent your own. There you go. I used a tiny rubber band to hold the headdress on there, so you can see that. That one's like this pattern. So there you go. So you have 2 simple patterns that you can use to make it. I'll tighten that down there. To make your own character, or you can get more elaborate, and with, like I said, with the mermaid. And there's always your butterfly pattern or your superhero. So there you go. We hope you enjoy experimenting with your own clothespin characters, different kinds of materials, different ideas. If you have any questions, you can write me, Yvonne, at McNallyJackson.com, and I'll be glad to help. Thanks for listening, and have fun!